Hi, let us talk about iterations in this module of learning C# fundamentals. Ideally, when we do things every day, we go day by day doing things sometimes repeatedly in a procedural way, and in programming we can also do this by repeating steps in a number of ways. So for example, we want to jump up 5 times, we want to print 1 to 10, we want to print out every number in a phone number directory. We can do all that in C#. Let me talk to you about the 4 different kind of iteration structures that are available in C#. But first, I'll need to go ahead and create my project. So I'll do a .NET new console. And I'll call that iterations. And I'll go into that project and open up the program.cs file. The first kind of iteration I would like to talk about is the for loop. The for loop works in a way such that it goes from a particular index, which is called the iterator, and then as a termination point, and then the condition for increment. Say I want to print out 1 to 10. I'll start a for loop by creating my iterator, which is named I, that starts from 1 going up until 10, and then I increment it by 1. I++ means take this value and increment it by 1. Then I can do my console dot writeLine, then put in the value of I. Let me go ahead and run this code. You see, I can successfully print out 1 to 10. What if I want to print out just the even numbers between 1 and 10? What I can do is change my incrementation value here to I+ equals to, it means take the value of I and increment it by 2. Oh, this will only print out the odd numbers, so I better start this from 2. Let me run this and see if there's any logical error or if it will work. You see, I print out 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Let's say I want to print out multiples of 3 between 1 and 100. I better start from 3, then end this at 100, then increment this by 3 every time. If I run this, I should have 3 printed out up until 99 in my console. The different kind of loop or iteration structure we have in C# is the for each loop. The for each works in a way such that it has the ability to print out every single element in a collection. A collection in C# is what we'll be looking out for in the next video. Let's say I have this collection object, for example, an array of numbers. Okay, and then I'll just put that in, and then I want to print this out to my console. So what it will do is to take every single element starting from the beginning up until the end and print it out to my console as I instruct it to do. And it goes this way: an implicit data type, and then the name you want to call your variable, let's say number, inside my numbers. Then what I need to do here is do a console dot writeLine and then print out that number to the console. If I run this application now, I should get 1, 2, 4, 5, and 66. It seems there's a little bit of problem here, and I think I know what it is. I put integers inside an array of strings. Let me modify that and run this again. And you see, I have 1, 2, 4, 5, and 66 printed out to the console for me. That is the for each loop. The other kind of iteration structure available in C# is the do while loop. The do while loop will execute statements before checking a particular condition. Let's say, for example, I want to check a particular condition. Say, for example, I have an integer. Okay, let me call it counter and put that value as 5, or let me even start at 1. And then I want to increment the value of the counter. Okay, I want to check as long as the value of my counter is less than or equal to 5, I will continue to print out of the console that today is a beautiful day. Let me run that. You see, it keeps rolling because counter is at value 1 forever and ever, and I've done nothing to change the code. You know what I'll do? I'll stop the execution of this and then increment the value of counter by 1 inside the do while loop, and then I'll run this again. So what I have now is today is a beautiful day printed out for me 5 times. Let me try this with the other kind of iteration structure, which is the while loop. The while loop evaluates the condition before running any statement inside it. So what I'll do here is I would say this same condition is what I'll try to evaluate if counter is less than or equal to 5, and then I'll print out today is a beautiful day inside here. But you know what I'll do? This I am using to show the difference between a do while loop and a while loop. You know what? I'll comment this out for now and I'll show you the difference in a little while. Let me save that and run the code. Oh, remember, I did not remember to increment the value of the counter, so I should do that right away. Right, let me now run. I will see that I'll get this output just the same way like the do while loop 5 times. But let's look at the difference now. Let's say we set the value of our counter to 5 and reactivate this do while loop. Let's run this side by side. We will see that the do while loop will run at least once, but the while loop does not run at all. Say now you want to maybe send an email to someone in your code before checking some conditions. A do while loop would be a good fit for that. But if you want to check, hey, are you really old enough to use this system before we give you access? A while loop is what you will probably use, and that is iterations in C#. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you will get notifications when I post new videos on this channel. See you in another video. Goodbye.